Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 45. And therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Ruach Kodash, and double honor to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, who I learned this truth from. And peace and salutations to the elect that scattered across the four corners of the planet Earth, pushing this truth in sincerity and meekness without wavering. This is your brother ICR from the GMS Cleveland Church, and I'm back with another lesson, and Lord willing, it is edifying to one of the Lord's elect. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is the true name of the only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly and incorrectly calls Jesus Christ. Bahashem is in the name. Ruach Kodash means Spirit Holy. Okay. And what I was speaking was in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, which is the ancient language that was hidden from the earth. Okay, which is a language spoken by Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and also the angels. Okay, when the angel Gabriel told Joseph and Mary what to name their son, they didn't say Jesus. Okay, they say Yahweh Shai. Okay, which means what? He is the deliverer. He is salvation, and that's to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Seminole Native American Indians, as well as our people that are scattered among the heathen that have taken on the look of them as well. Okay, and those are the Israelites today. All right, the Lord's name is not Jesus. It's not Yahshua, Yeshua, or Yehoshua. Okay, and it's not Jesus. Okay, the name is Yahweh Shai. Okay, which he spoke in the Hebrew tongue. Okay, according to the count that Paul gave, I think it was 2 or 3 times. Okay, but that's, just wanted to get that out there, because that's going to be the name that's going to go throughout the earth and be worshipped. Okay, when the Lord destroys the United States of America. Okay, by thermonuclear missiles. And this is what this lesson is going to be centered about. Okay, because when you read Jeremiah 50, 49, 51, it's not talking about ancient Babylon. Okay, due to the history of ancient Babylon, it was never destroyed and made desolate. Okay, Babylon is in modern day Iraq. What happened was, over thousands of years, okay, that place, that landmark, was ruled by many different nations of people. Okay, when you read Daniel 2 and 4, those empires, which was the Babylonians, the Medo-Persians, the Greeks, and the Romans, they ruled that landmark. Okay, and there's no historical documentation of that place being made desolate, because it's still inhabited. Okay, to this day. Okay, so this Babylon is being talked about. It's talking about the United States of America. Okay, and I'm gonna link this up with some videos that I found on the internet. All right, because this is the counsel of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Let's go into the counsel, the word counsel, and he speaks through men, according to Hosea the 12th chapter. Okay, so the counsel of the Lord, which the word counsel means advice, purpose. Okay, plan. Okay, the Lord's plan is what? Okay, it says the least of the flock, okay, will draw them out. Who's the least of the flock of the Edomites? Talking about the Amalekites, the people that's over there trying to establish more land, okay, in Palestine. okay, the pale people, the ones that are not the true people of the Bible, okay, they're the one that's the least of the flock, okay, and the land of Chaldeans is what? It's talking about the United States of America, okay. Chaldeans is known as the wise of the Assyrians, okay, the wise men, okay, and the wise men majority are here in the United States of America of the Edomites, okay, and this is also where majority of the Edomites dwell, okay. So when you read, when it talks about the least of the flock bringing them out, it's gonna, the land of Israel is gonna bring America, okay, into their wars, their conflicts, okay. They're the ones initiating, okay, just like with Iran, okay. You had that commotion going on back then, because that's what Yahweh Shah said. You should hear wars and commotions, right? You had missile fire going back and forth between those lands, and now you don't really hear it as much because they're trying to keep things died. Well, that's Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah trying to keep these things died down until the mark of the beast is implemented, okay? So in the midst of all of that, right, in the midst of America being dragged into World War III by the state of Israel, the Lord, this place is going to be made desolate because there's not going to be um, um, protection here. Because remember in the book of Jeremiah, not Jeremiah, but Joel 2, and I mentioned this at the study on Sunday, when it says Joel 2, and I'm going to start at verse 18, and as you see it says deliverance, promise, deliverance to who? Okay, when would this take place? Okay, this is a future prophecy that's going to take place in the times to come. Okay, because when you go up, I believe it's, yeah, the terrible visitation. All right, I'm gonna get this real quick. All right, I'm gonna read Joel 2 through the Spirit and grab a couple precepts to close out. All right, because this is how the United States of America is going to be drawn into that war over there in the so-called Middle East. Because remember, it's called Armageddon in the scriptures. Let me grab that real quick. I believe it's Revelation 19. Give me a second. Or it was 16. Yeah, it was 16, I believe. Salaki. This is the book of Revelation 16 and 16. It says, and he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon, right? Which is Har-Magawon, which means mountain of troops. Okay, and the mountain of troops is going to be in the land of Jehoshaphat, which is named, which in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat, which means the valley of Yahweh's judgments. Okay, Yahweh Shaphat means Yahweh's judge. Yahweh judge. And that's where the Lord is going to do a lot of judging to these nations. Okay, because remember, I'm gonna grab another one. All right, this is a cut to Genesis, led by Hakkah and Deacon Hakkah and Brother Hassad. They say the Valley of Jehoshaphat and Armageddon are going to take place in two different land masses, which is wrong. Okay, wrong. So this is the book of Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore await ye upon me, saith Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them mine indignation. What is the Lord going to gather these nations? I'm going to go to Joel, the 2nd chapter. It says, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy, right? But the main focal point is going to be the United States of America. You're going to have the land of Israel being is gonna be in, the whole landmass is gonna be up in flames. You're gonna have different landmarks of the world being the flames, but they're gonna be built up again, but not the United States of America, and also the so-called Middle East. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of missiles hitting that place. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Joel 2. I'm gonna just go straight to the point. I want to make this quick. All right, because when you read from the first verse on down, it's comparing the horses. The horses are being the missiles are being compared to men. Okay, but I'm gonna read 1 through 3. All right, this is the book of Joel 2, and verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. And we're blowing the trumpet. This video right now is a form of blowing the trumpet. Zion is a people before a place, which I mentioned earlier. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Seminole Native American Indians, as well as those that are the speckled bird, okay, that looks like the heathen, okay? It says, let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. What's the day of the Lord? When he destroys the United States of America. Okay? It says a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There have not been ever the like, neither shall there be, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Right. So what's the great people? The great people are talking about the nuclear missiles, which when it makes impact on these lands, it's going to bring a great darkness and gloominess. Okay, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Okay, to the United States of America. Okay, that's why it says in verse 3. This is how you know it identifies with America. Okay, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. Behind who? The great people, which is the missiles. Okay, the fire devoureth before them. It's talking about the ICBMs that are inside the missile, the cap of the missile in layman's terms. Okay, and just dumb it down. Okay, because you have the nuclear warheads are inside. Okay, of the tip of the missile. The missile is just the form. It has a propulsion system. Okay, that person about to get hit, bro. They about to hit him. Damn. All right, you can just look it up, man. I'm not gonna do a pictogram or anything, but look it up. All right. And the fire behind them, it says in the behind them a flame burning. It's talking about what? The propulsion system. Like when you see NASA taking off, you see a tip of the rocket. Then you got at the behind them, it's the propulsion system. Okay, the same thing as a nuclear missile, man. Okay, it says the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, right? Meaning full of life. Okay, the United States of America is still busy. They're still the #1 country in the world. Everybody's still able to afford certain things. They're not facing any troubles. Okay, they're at peace. They're living comfortably. Do as you will. Okay, do what you want to do. Live it up. The opportunity is here. American and proud of it. Ain't that what they say? Serpentini, the car commercial, right? See, this is the place where they dwell carelessly. Okay, in the land, in the Garden of Eden, everybody dwelled carelessly because what? It was a form of paradise. So America is a form of paradise, but the Lord is slowly removing that too. Okay, from people are suffering, man, and before the nuclear missile hit, suffering will increase. It says that the fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yet and nothing shall escape them. Right, a desolate wilderness. And you go into this word desolate, okay? It says what? Devastation, waste, desolation. It says astonishment laid. Don't really give much, man. Let's go into the root word. devastated, deserted, meaning what? Empty, desolate, ruined. Right? Let's look up this word deserted real quick. Deserted means empty of people, right? Empty of people. And that's going to be the United States of America, man. And that's going to happen when they get brought out into the midst of World War III by the state of Israel, man. Okay? So I'm going to jump down. Let me get to it. Verse 20. It says, but I will move far off from you the northern army. Northern army of what? What's that talking about? It's talking about the United States of America, which is also known as North America. It said, and will drive them, and will drive him. That him is talking about Esau, Edom. Not just the man, the singular person, but the nation. Okay, starting with the military. Okay, which is the United States of America, which is, you got three spirits. The spirits, three spirits of unclean frogs. Okay, the United States is the military branch. Okay, is the military force behind those three entities. Okay, you got the United States of America, you have the Vatican, and you also have London. Okay, those are the three city-states, and the muscle behind that is the United States of America. So the Lord is going to drive him into a barren land, the United States of America's military, and desolate, which is talking about Saudi Arabia and that land area over there. It says, it says with his face toward the EC, right? And I'm gonna break that down, right? The EC, okay. And it says, and his hinder part toward the uttermost sea, okay. So it says, and his stink shall come up, meaning what? When there's going to be a lot of casualties, okay, over there in that land. All right, it's going to be a lot of casualties over there in the so-called Middle East, okay. And it says, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. Okay, who has done great things? Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. All right. Now I'm going to get a map of a Bible. Okay. Not the map of the Bible, but I'm going to go into the Bible maps. Okay, give me a second. Hold on. Let's see if I can pull it up. It's not letting me pull it up. But that hindermost part is talking about the Red Sea. Okay, that's the face that's toward the east. The EC is the Red Sea, and its hinder part toward the utmost sea, which is what? It's talking about the Euphrates. Okay. So I'm still waiting on this map, but I'm also in the midst of this. I'm going to play another these videos, okay? And as you see, it says America introduced a bill, right? It introduced a bill to pay, right, for the health care of soldiers who serve in the IDF. So check this out.
This past weekend, Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, just passed a bill. The House of Representatives just passed a bill that gives the soldiers of the IDF, that's the Israeli Defense Force. You now have Israeli Defense Force foreign military receiving United States military benefits.
This is true.
Wow, what he just said, what Joey just said, people here can't even afford health insurance, and now they're giving it to a foreign country, which in my opinion is a fucking enemy. They're the most disgusting, evil country on earth that has attacked the United States multiple times. And you're going to give them benefits? And you're telling me these motherfuckers deserve to live? These politicians deserve to be alive? Get the fuck out of here. They're all fucking traitors and they deserve to all be fucking hung.
It So you see it. I'm gonna play another clip. Hey, hey, Esau, your time is up, brother. Hey, and these Edomites know it. Okay, this is why these guys are gonna form militia groups and they're gonna fight for their country because there's gonna be invasions in this country, man. There's gonna be foreign troops on the ground. You're gonna have secret cell groups, okay, forming cliques. It's gonna be all out chaos here, man. Okay, it's not gonna be any law. It's gonna be complete lawlessness, man. Okay, ain't gonna be no sending the National Guard to come clean up the streets. Ain't gonna be no putting army or army boots on the ground to help stop what's about to happen in the United States of America, while most of your military is over there fighting for you, man. Okay, because these people, the United States of America has a contract with the state of Israel. Look how much money they give them yearly, okay? Over hundreds of billions of dollars, man. Okay? Let me play another video.
Iran attacked me out of nowhere! America needs to go to war for me! Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
I don't want my children to die for Israel.
Stop crying. Their lives were promised to my people 2,000 years ago.
I don't want my children to die for Israel.
Do not be selfish. Your children will go to war for my people. It's time to step up. Our greatest ally, Israel, needs us. Send your sons. After all, they fund my paycheck.
See, things are about to get real for you people in the military, man. That just take this shit as a fucking joke and try to use it as a come up. Hey, the time is over for that, man. Okay, the time is over. Okay. So I'm gonna play another.
How much influence does Israel have on our country?
Israel's controlling
Play this video. Now I'm gonna close out.
our government.
Israel controls us.
Israel is in control of our government.
The government of Israel controls the United States.
Israel has run American foreign policy for 30 years.
It feels like we're just owned by Israel, and we just never knew it.
Is the United States government now just taking edicts and orders from Israel?
Israel first.
Israel first.
Israel first.
This really is an Israel first administration.
Israel.
Israel.
AIPAC! I'm coming to tear your kingdom down!
Mr. Mamdani.
I would stay in New York City.
America first means we don't go to war on behalf of other countries.
Cut off aid to Israel.
I wouldn't send him a dime.
This is my country.
What do you have allegiance to?
Do you believe America's your country, or do you believe Israel's your country?
Act like an American, not an Israeli. What are you, a foreign agent?
I don't think we should be fighting wars on behalf of Israel.
Israel's wars are not America's wars.
That's it. Okay. Hey, the time is at hand. Let me grab Isaiah 13 real quick. Okay. As you see, start at 16. All right. Hey, this whole chapter goes into the destruction of the United States of America. Okay? When you read verse 5, it says they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. What's that talking about? What's coming from a far country? Well, I just mentioned it in Joel, the 2nd chapter. Okay? That's the missiles. We'll jump down, because this is going to be the destruction, the judgment of the United States of America right here. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 17, and as you see, it says Babylon will fall to the Medes. Now the Medes today are the Russians, which they are also Edomites. Okay, it's not parabolically, but this Bible, they're not descendants of Japhet, okay, but they inhabit that land. Okay, so this is the thing about the scriptures. If Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is not behind you, you won't be able to understand what we mean by that. This is why you have to be born again and see it from a spiritual eye. Okay, because nobody's in their true. Well, I'm not gonna say nobody, but a lot of nations are not really in the land that the Heavenly Father gave to them for an inheritance. And so through that time, they took on those names of the land they stayed in. Like for instance, okay, those people over there in Egypt right now, they're not the true Egyptians, but they take on that name. The true Egyptians are in South Sudan. They're in the Sudanese, man. All right. Okay, the ones that's inhabiting the land now, some of them are Edomites, some of them are Ishmaelites, man. Okay, so the Medes today are the Russians. If you look at the Mede is on the map, it's near the Caucasus Mountains, and then further up, they expanded further up. Okay, so this is the book of Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Against who? Babylon. Which Babylon? The United States of America. Which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it, right? Because you're not going to be able to come to an agreement. But the president of Russia, which is Vladimir Putin, okay, he has a strong dislike for the United States of America. Okay, check out what he's doing to the pollution that the United States of America is pushing out throughout the four corners of the planet Earth. Okay, it pushes man on man, woman on woman, LGBT, LMNOP. You know, the Lord is a so-called white man. Okay, he pushes out women can be whores. Okay, Russia is completely contrary to that. They have they're more, these Edomites in Russia are cut from a different cloth. They have sort of a little bit more morals. Okay, they have morals compared to the Edomites over here in the United States of America, but they're still wicked. Okay, like Edomites in Russia are still wicked because why? They're Edomites. Okay, this says Isaiah 8:13 and 18. Their bows shall dash the young man to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eye shall not spare children. What's that talking about? The bows. It's talking about the missiles. Okay, because they come. What will a bow come out? What's coming out of the bow? The missiles. Okay. It says, their bows shall also dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. Right. Missiles is not ain't gonna be no eyes on the missiles and feelings when it comes to these missiles, man. Because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is going to be the one controlling them, and Yahweh is going to be inside of them, man. Okay. It says, verse 19, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. What happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? Read Genesis 19. The Lord opened up the firmament and the Shemayim in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew, and he concocted elements to form fire and brimstone, and they rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah, Zeboim, Admah, and Zoar. Okay, he rained fire and brimstones on those 5 places. Okay, those 5 landmarks, and he wiped them out. Okay, that didn't happen in ancient Babylon. We're waiting to see when it's going to happen. It's going to happen soon to come, man. Okay, because we believe and we know through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua that the United States of America is Mystery Babylon the Great, man. Okay, look what's going on. What place on the planet Earth fulfills the prophecy of playing out? What it plays out? What country in the world plays the role of Babylon in the scriptures, man? Who's fulfilling that role? It's the United States of America, man. Okay, so I'm gonna close out. Lord willing, this is edifying to one of the Lord's elect. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, or Chak Wadash, and double honor to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule and teach well, and peace and salutations to the elect. Calling Yahshua Shalom.